Are live. If you're watching this, you probably are wondering about the episode, which is how to marry the right person. We're going to help you navigate marrying the right person when you're single. And so, we always say that marriage is not for everyone, but in this episode, I want to just go on and say this marriage that we're talking about is for everyone. And we're going to help you to understand the things that need to take place. And at the end, if you stay to the end, we have something really important to share with you that's going to help you to solidify your marrying the right person.
And so we're Gil and Renee from the Rich Relationship Refuge, and we are going to just jump right in because we know you're ready.
Yes, you're ready, and we are ready too. So today's episode is about marrying the right person. And so many times we don't realize, and I know we talked about last week about the 50-50 relationship and what makes it fail. So if you didn't watch that, go back and watch that. And the week before, we also talked about the what men want and what women want. So please go back and watch those episodes. But we're going to help you to really have an understanding of what does it mean to marry the right person. Well, Gil and I got married at 21. And there are some things that we both did that made us prepare for marriage. And I've been thinking about this and praying about this because even though we were 21 when we got married, I had already lived on my own. Mm-hmm. I had already taken care of myself. I had already learned how to run a household as far as the finances, cooking, cleaning, knowing what I wanted, knowing what I didn't want. Those are the things I'd already done before we got married. And what are some of the things you did? The military.
Well, even from the beginning, one thing that we had to establish early is the first one we're going to share with you is boundaries. Proverbs 4 talks about it when he said, guard your heart. When you are guarding your heart, what that's really talking about is you having a set of standards or a set of guidelines that you use. Not only, like you mentioned, in the military, we had certain regulations and things that we had to keep, but those are guidelines, which is the same thing. We have boundaries, things that you had to operate within to be successful in anything you do. So the very first one I would say is boundaries. And
When you say, what did you do as a single that you believed helped you to be prepared for marriage?
I had guidelines. I had boundaries. I had things that, and that's what I'm sharing. I had things that I was looking for in a person, the person that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Did I have a list of checklists already written out? No, but I thought about it enough and long enough to what I wanted in a mate that I knew what I was not looking for, which is just as important. That if you don't have something as far as guidelines of what you're looking for in a person, guess what you're going to find? Any and everything. And you don't know what are you looking for. So you're going to date constantly. You're going to look for other things constantly. And you're going to have relationship after relationship after relationship and not wonder or not realize what is it that I'm missing